speaker on this panel is Manjula Pradeep, an eminent human rights activist and lawyer. She's the former executive director of the Navsajan Trust and one of the largest Dalit rights organisations in India, and is addressing the issues of caste discrimination and gender-based discrimination. Amongst other qualifications, has a master's in social work from the University of Baroda. Manjula.
Thank you so much. I think it's a very important occasion for all of us to share the concerns of human rights violations in India. I represent the community which is discriminated based on the caste. So I come from the Dalit community. And as you introduced me about the Navsajan Trust, where I served for 25 years, and I'm from Gujarat, the model which is being discussed so much about across the country and also globally. I have worked very closely with the community, and I'm a survivor of violence, sexual violence, and discrimination. Uh, it's when we talk about issues of human rights violations, I think it's very important to recognize that how do the 20 million people in India, how do they are surviving during the pandemic, and what kind of discrimination they are facing and violence as well. So when the terminology which everybody uses in India about social distancing, for us it is something which is more a physical distance which the community is already going through since the origin of the caste system. So during the pandemic, I have myself worked with not only with the Dalit communities but also with the other migrant laborers, and we set up a helpline where we try to help them as much as possible across the country, providing them support in terms of collaborating with other organizations in different parts of the country. It was a difficult time for all of us, especially between April to June, and I think that was significantly not seen as something which has to come out also in the media, and not much was reported, and those which have been reported already has been shared. I'm just concerned about how do we look into the laws which are there to prevent atrocities on Dalits and Adivasis in India. And I just want to share about where is the amended act which was enacted, which was amended in 2015, where we have the Prevention of Atrocities Act, and where are we in terms of the 5 years of the amendment into this act. And we don't see much hope in it. We still have the issues of impunity, state impunity. The conviction rate is very low. It's around 30%. And as I was looking at the NCRB data of last year, and it says around 62,000 cases of atrocities are pending for investigation. This is a very big figure. And also that the increase of atrocities against scheduled castes, the Dalits, have increased by 7%. Um, we all are discussing so much on the issue of Hathras, and that's not the first incident which has happened. And I've worked very closely with the sexual violence survivors in specifically in Gujarat and some other states like Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. I come from Uttar Pradesh, born in Gujarat, and so I know the hostility of the state, and I have seen and I have also seen the pain and the plight and the trauma of the victims with whom we work very closely. The point of hope is with the law. So as I said about the Atrocity Act, I think there's a need to relook into where is the law and why the implementation is so weak. With regard to crimes against women in India, there's an increase from 2018 to 2019 almost of 7%. I think that is something to be also to be think about. I just want to talk about a right-wing leader from the BJP party from Uttar Pradesh, and who is very active on the Twitter, and how he is spreading the hate speech about where he himself is implicated in 44 criminal cases, and he's putting a shocking video statement saying that the 19-year-old Dalit girl in Hathras was a wayward, she was an avara, and she must be because of her loose character, she must have invited the boy to the field, the accused, the main accused, and she was having an affair. And then he said that such women are found dead in few specific spots such as sugarcane, corn, and millet fields, or in bushes, gutters, or forests. Now, this kind of hate speech, what is it? It's propagating in India, and it's happening like the social media is a platform which is used more now because of the COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdown. So I think there is some there has to be some control on this kind of hate speeches which is spreading through the social media, which is because it's affecting the individual and community. and it's also forcing or making them take serious steps, and there have been situations where there is a possibility of more atrocities and crimes to be committed on the most marginalized communities in India, whether it's Dalits or Adivasis or Muslims. I just want to also raise the issue of other acts which are there in place since few years. Like there is a entire issue of manual scavenging, the most inhuman practice which is going on, existing in the world, which is the cleaning of human excrements with bare hands. I have worked a lot on this issue, and I'm just worried about what changes have happened to when the new law which was enacted in 2013, has it able to eradicate the problem? Because at one side India is boasting about Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, the total clean India, and then the other side we have seen lots and lots of Dalit community men dying in the manholes and then there is a, even during the pandemic there have been deaths, and which are reported as accidental deaths. There is no in terms of implication, in terms of strict action or legal action against the perpetrators. I think this is something to think about.
That is 5 minutes. I'm sorry. So
Thank you.
over.